Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another wonderful, wonderful edition of worst sports podcast out there. This Raven Slayers hour, and as you can obviously tell, we went through some more recent changes. A lot wound up recently happening, but you know what? The grind don't stop. Grind never stops, everybody. Appreciate everyone for coming out and watching today. So, as mentioned, again, we're going and talking some football with y'all today. Um, Talking some college football because, of course, college football season just uh, kicked off this past weekend, and want to kind of sit and talk about it a little bit. We got some news that came out from, some news that came out about some things I'm kind of sad about, some things I'm super happy about, some things I want to talk about my favorite team. And then, of course, we got to talk about the Bill Belichick coaching debut. So first and foremost here, let me get everything loaded here, because got some snippets, some clicks, some snippets and everything. Some sad things as far as a fan side goes. We had some sad things happen. We had some exciting things happen. So, give me one brief moment while I get everything loaded here. Sorry, give me a sec here. There we go. So, unfortunately, as everybody knows, the Lee Corso. Unfortunately, Corso has retired. This was his final prediction.
Texas is number one. They have a Manning at quarterback. Poor Ohio State. They ain't got a chance. Give me my first love.
Oh, there it is. Here it comes.
Hearing him mention his first love was Ohio State, it's sad to know. Especially with me, I'm in my 20s, almost in my 30s. This was me, everybody. When I was growing up, I was a little kid sitting in front of the TV on a Saturday with my dad and watching that first prediction. Now this is me me nowadays. Lee Corso is a great guy, a guy that I absolutely loved when I was a kid, a guy that I always admired. It's a guy I always wanted to emulate, especially through this show. And unfortunately, I haven't lived up to that hype. I'll admit it. Just some numbers from Lee Corso. I mean, 430 mascot headgear picks all time. 69 different teams picked all time. Picked Ohio State the most out of anybody, which is completely and utterly understandable. Lee Corso, as everybody knows, he is a huge Ohio State fan. And it doesn't shock me to see him pick Ohio State as much as he has. 286 and 144 all-time record. 11 and 0 in 1999. Three teams with multiple picks and no losses, with USC, Virginia Tech, and North Dakota State. Just seeing the numbers, knowing how much Lee Corso knew ball, it's insane to even think about, guys. It's insane to even comprehend. And I'm sorry, I should have had all these loaded up here, ready to go. This is again another funny one, and this is of course just shouting out my co-host there, Mr. Mike. Him being a Texas fan, back when him and Matthew McConaughey were on panel. Matthew thought Lee Corso was picking Texas. And then Corso picked LSU. And this is probably the funniest reaction overall to a hit to a gear pick. If that was Mike, if that was my co-host Mike, he'd do the same thing. Try and pull the head off of Mr. Corso. Let's see what else. I got a couple of things through Twitter that I wound up finding. As you can obviously tell, specifically through revolving around Corso, revolving around ASU, Bill Belichick's coaching debut, and then some memes that I found. I still can't believe he hit the little kid with a not so fast midget. I remember this one. I remember this specific one. I was watching it late at night when I was a kid. Well, early in the morning, really, I should say. Early in the morning, I was sitting there with my dad, my bowl of cereal. And as I'm sitting there taking a spoonful, I hear "not so fast, midget." I'm like, "What?" Again, it just goes to see what he did throughout his career and the impact he ultimately had on a younger crew. Because us younger folks, we remember him doing this stuff when we were kids, and it just makes you laugh every single time. And then, of course, him picking the Golden Gophers over the Badgers. I think this was a hockey prediction, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, him picking Minnesota was an awesome thing to see. Now, onto some information about ASU. I'm so happy to see ASU doing what they did. Sure, they played a weaker opponent in NAU, but ASU beat the bricks off of them.
First and goal from the
Just
6.
some highlights. I'm going to keep it muted.
Spinning is really.
I'm just going to show some of their highlights. Try and break it down as best as I can. So you had no real hole open for the running back, but he still powered his way through to the end zone. Still, knowing ASU just losing Cam Scapo this offseason, seeing this guy step up in a huge way is awesome to see. Like mentioned again, no real hole opened up from the offensive line in this case. NAU did a great job defending that play until he broke through. It's just majorly down to tackling. Great fake by the punter here, by the way. Don't know if it was a designed fake, but this was insane to see. NAU's ready and prepared for the punt, and then here comes the punter. Let's see, Lebanon in the pocket. Great little dump off to the receiver. And then just a yards after catch by number 0 here. Yards after catch for Tyson are insanely good. Again, not a big hole opened up, but still was able to kind of push through the defenders there. I mean, hurdling over the guy too was kind of fun to see. Like, look. Defender did really good to put himself in that hole that was created by the offensive line. Breaks back on the opposite side of where the center was at, and then hurtled over the corner. Now that's a linebacker, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Man, can I just say that on top of everything, people have gotten a lot smaller when it comes to linebackers. Great defensive play by the linebacker there. I think he's a linebacker. I could be wrong. Like just seeing the way things broke down. Here he is. Oh, it was a corner. So a design corner blitz there essentially. Let's see. They're so he's showing man. Everybody else from what it looks like they're showing zone. That's what I can tell. Yeah, it looks like they're all these other guys are showing zone. This is the only guy who's showing man. Sneaks inside. Look at that wide open hole. Yeah, double team here, and then one single guy over here on the right side. Opens up a wide open hole for that corner to get in there and get that sack. That's a great freaking play. That's a great play by ASU, horrible play by NAU in that case. Such a great play. All right. The blitzing 5 here. Great work by the tackles. Let those defenders get super deep, by the way. Guards did a great job to ensure that they protected their quarterback there as well. The center's doing insane work right here. Levitt did a great job to kind of break away from this. That's a little bit of a hold, but at the same time, he was well past him anyway. For those of you who say Levitt doesn't have any wheels, Levitt's got wheels. Now, a lot of people are sitting here saying that, Arch Manning's most likely going to be the number 1 overall pick. If I want a number 1 overall pick, this is the kid I'm picking, Sam Levitt. Great vision, seeing how things kind of broke down overall. I want to see how the rest of the season goes for Levitt and how it goes for Arch Manning. But comparing these two on week 1, of course they played completely different opponents. We played a weaker NAU. Texas wound up playing an actual ranked opponent. But who knows? We could see Levitt being drafted in the first round. Let's see here. Blitzen 5. No, they left the tight end in for pass blocking here. Running back kind of breaks away slightly. Man, that tight end just didn't really give any pushback. That's a great play by the defensive end here, breaking right past that tight end here. If I'm this tackle, I'm breaking further down here. I'm breaking further down. I'm immediately, instead of just sitting here watching this develop over here, I'm immediately dropping back here to keep protection on my quarterback. Because if you ultimately see here, he's all the way back here. He's way up here. He's reacting as the play is about to finish. Let's see. Back on offense. Give the ball over to the running back. You got one pulling tackle. My apologies. Oh no, I am right. Pulled the right guard and the right tackle over. Great. Oh my gosh, it was a fake. Okay. I will give the head coach of ASU a lot of credit here. He confused me. You pull both the guards over here, fake it to the running back, Everything collapses here, giving Levitt a wide open hole towards the right side. That's a great play. Overall, that's a great play. Let's see. Rushing. From what I can see here, the Russian 4. 3 guys bunched up over on the left side, leaving this guy wide open on the right side. Yeah. Oh, he let him get too far over. Yeah, the way he was set up, he's easily beating him on the outside. Easily. Still, it keeps breaking down. You get the linebacker to come down to complete the sack. That was a great play by ASU. I'm pretty sure everybody who would be watching right now, who is watching right now, whether it be here on Twitch or over on YouTube, will sit here and say, "Well, it's just ASU. They're playing a weaker opponent." I don't care. ASU prepares very well. For those of you who don't know, ASU during their practice this week, knowing they're playing Mississippi State, on the sidelines they were sitting there ringing bells the entire practice, because that happens in Mississippi State. Let's see. Oh, that's a great. Okay, I gotta go back and rewind that. All right, see, Russian 5 here. Yep, Russian 5. You got the linebacker. The edge of the linebacker. I can't tell. Got him blitzing here. You got him free. Got him free to make his play towards the quarterback. Quarterback panics and tries to force it over to the running back. Batted down by the end, allowing the defensive tackle to. That was great vision by the defensive tackle too, by the way. See ball, catch ball. The way it ultimately should always be played, whether you're on offense or on defense. So from what it sees here, NAU is showing blitz in this case. It's understandable because I think this play they're handing it off. Oh no, they're not handing it off. You got 2 guys free here. I'd of course have that running back pop up, whether it be on the left or right side, to block one of these 2 defenders. Chucks it up to the wide receiver. What a beautiful play. What a beautiful play. Now, those of you who are sitting here saying that I shouldn't be reacting to this, if you look in the background back here, I have an ASU flag. So I don't care who you are. That should be a little bit better. I have an ASU pendant here. I have my little ASU stuff in general. Huge ASU fan. I don't care who we're playing, or what have you. Just so long as it doesn't look like this when I'm watching the game. When I was hearing people showing this, I'm like, wow, that really happened? Let's see what I found and what else I found about ASU. A couple of news stories I heard. I mean, Jordan Tyson. Jordan Tyson was the guy who caught that last pass at the end of the game. Well deserving of offensive player of the week on the East-West Shrine Bowl. Honestly, he played great. And if I'm not mistaken, let me take a look here. Should be able to pull up their stats if I'm not mistaken. That is White. Hello. Ow. Here we go. Game stat. No, box score. There we go. box score, you had two different quarterbacks playing the game in the game for NAU. Ty Pennington played very well, 22 for 35, 62%, 62% with 204 yards and a touchdown. Great QBR for him. I feel kind of bad for Lathan Boone playing as rough as he did. ASU Sam Levitt, ugly unfortunate interception. 25 for 39, 64% completion percentage. 257 yards, 95.35 QBR in that case. And it was Jordan Tyson we're looking for here. Jordan Tyson, 12. Oh my good lord. 12 receptions, 141 yards, an average of 11.75, with 2 touchdowns. Well deserving of the player of the week, in my personal opinion. See here. I should probably, my apologies, give me one brief moment. There we go. And back to this. Yeah, Sam Levitt, 330 all-purpose yards, 4 touchdowns. He had the 2 rushing touchdowns and the rushing yards overall. So great game by him. And if I am not mistaken, I have one more piece here. Yeah, the one more additional piece on this here. Just seeing ASU in general. Number one, I live like 5 minutes away from ASU. About 5 minutes away from ASU's stadium. Number one, the atmosphere at ASU games are always exciting. However, being a homeowner near the stadium, or not a homeowner, but a home renter near the stadium, not fun. Not fun at all. I'll be sitting trying to relax late at night, and I'll just start hearing fireworks randomly, and it's like, bro. Let's see. Again, like mentioned, I mean, Sparky, such an insanely good mascot. He's not only a great mascot for ASU itself, but I mean, just the amount of love and respect he has in ASU is amazing. The excitement of the crowd. Yeah, that reception there was insane. Beats the corner on this route overall. And look at that toe tapping. Great play overall by him, honestly. That'll end our little segment on here on ASU, and brings us into Bill Belichick's coaching debut. Everybody knows his debut did not go as swimmingly as he thought it did. By the way, North Carolina, beautiful stadium. I'll give him that. Their stadium's beautiful. However, by the fourth quarter of the game last night, it was not good looking. It was not looking good for them. Oh, there we go. That's better. Belichick with the iconic hoodie, now in North Carolina. However, like I mentioned, his debut did not go as they thought it would. 48-14 overall score. Josh Hoover, 27 for 36. 75% completion percentage, 284 yards, 2 touchdowns with an interception with a QBR of 112.55. And on the flip side, they didn't perform very well in a Bill Belichick ran offense. Gio Lopez, 4 for 10, 40 yards, 1 interception. Max Johnson, 9 for 11, 81% completion with 103 yards and a touchdown. By the way, Gio Lopez, negative yards when it came to his rushing attempts. That is really sad. Sorry, give me a sec here. There we go. Let's see what else. Well, that'll kind of end off there in general. What's going on there? So that'll kind of end off my little segment there. Belichick didn't perform as he was supposed to as a head coach, so kind of understandable. It'll bring us into our next line of discussion here. There's a team in the college football realm that debuted. A lot of people don't know about it because it's definitely a smaller school. UTRGV. It's the University of Texas. I forget the way the name breaks down. Oh goodness, I have to. There we go. UTRGV, which breaks down to University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. Sorry, I had to look that up because I forgot the way the name breaks down. But they had their season date. Their debut of their football program for the school. And they did not disappoint their fans. Blew out Sol Ross State, so another Texas team. 117 rushing yards to Sol Ross State's negative 21 rushing yards. And this was by halftime. 363 passing yards to their 41. UTRGV did not disappoint. If I was a fan of them and I saw that game, I would be excited to see what the rest of the season held for the team. And me personally, as a fan of sports in general, I want to see how it breaks down for them. They ultimately wound up winning the game 63-0. So, that was by third quarter, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, by the end of the third quarter, I was really sad to see. By the end of the third quarter, they were beating him they were beating him really bad. By the end, at the end of this, of course, I'm going to go and pull up their stats because, again, a lot of people don't know about this team. Ultimately, ended off the game with a field goal, 66-0. But a lot of these smaller schools, nobody knows about. Nobody ever thinks about them or what have you, and I feel bad for them. These teams deserve to have the name say, have everybody keeping an eye on these talented players. Speaking of, like I mentioned, we're going to kind of go over some of their stats from that game. So UT Rio Grande, Eddie Lee Marburger. Look at that. Only missed on one pass. 365 yards, 5 touchdowns for him with a QBR of 158.33. Aiden Jacobson, or Jacobson, I believe that's how it's pronounced. Perfect. 7 for 7, 73 yards, 118.75 QBR. Fabian Garcia, 5 attempts, 32 yards with a touchdown. Again, like I mentioned, the receivers, the quarterbacks, even the running backs, and the entire team in general, definitely should be talked about. A lot of people don't really talk about these smaller schools overall, and I feel terrible for them. These kids worked hard in their couple of years it took for the school to kind of get off the ground, and no one's really talking about them. Speaking about talking about other stuff here, found a couple of memes that I wanted to showcase that were kind of funny. As everybody knows, this happened during the Florida State Bama game. That's me as a fan of my team. Honestly, that was the honest best reaction of a fan, to your team getting their butts beat. So when I saw that, I laughed hard. I'm pretty sure the entire internet laughed hard at him. He probably woke up the next morning to somebody saying, "Dude, look at X, look at Twitter, bro. You're famous now." And as always, again, as the Madden curse exists for certain players, these young men being on the cover definitely may be a little bit cursed. Of course, it's only week 1, but 6 receptions on 10 targets, 43 yards with no touchdowns at all. Still got the W. But Ryan Williams had the rougher night, 5 for 11, so 5 receptions on 11 targets, 30 yards in total. It was I believe this is the last one, if I'm not mistaken, that I found. Oh yeah, Texas offense on 4th down. Yeah, definitely agree overall. It was a rough night for Texas. It was a rough night for Bama. And of course, it's not always the best to beat up on those teams, but at the same time, if you're gonna be hyped up going into the season, you gotta live up to the hype. That's just the way it ultimately is. You got to live up to that hype. If you don't live up to the hype, then if you don't live up to that hype overall as a team, it's not probably not best to really worry about things. So I believe it's gonna bring us down to the last thing I wanted to talk about overall. But I appreciate everybody for coming out and listening to me talk about this stuff overall. Like mentioned again, we're going to be going a little bit further in depth probably later on this week, and who knows, maybe even later on. Well, I know later on Sunday, we are planning on staying live for a lot longer because I'll have my dad, I'll have his best friend here. Talking, and very well possibly another special guest. But you'll have to learn about any additional special guests on Sunday